How did you want to start this, dude?
Fuck it, we're going live.
Thank you very much for joining us while we are going live. And if you stick around until the end of the show, we are going to give away this shirt right here. Yeah. And then it says, what does it say in the front?
It's binary 420.
I'm going to take your word at that. We got a good one today. We're going to talk all about Ohio legalization news. There is a ballot initiative that's going through in Ohio right now, and let's bring them on.
Yeah.
Welcome, Chad and Tim.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, we're doing great, man. How about you guys?
We're doing good. I'm Chad Spawn, CEO,
Tim
President.
COO.
Awesome. So what is My Free Ohio?
We are currently we're activists. According to the only way we could get a bank to give us a place to put our money, we're activists.
Right.
Cannabis activists in Ohio. We're shooting for some legalization, recreational. We're going to change a few laws that way. Actually, what we're trying to do is revolutionary and unheard of.
What are you doing?
Well, what we'd like to do is we'd like to give everybody in the state of Ohio the same chance to own a grow site and or own a dispensary. Right now, it costs $180,000 in the state of Ohio to file for a license. That don't guarantee that you're going to get it. That don't guarantee that they're going to say, okay, here's your magic wand.
Wait, so like the filing fee alone to get a medical marijuana license in the state of Ohio is $180,000
for a grower or a dispensary. Yes, sir. Yeah,
man,
something like that. It's outrageous.
How is the medical marijuana in Ohio?
I've had it from other states, and it's much better. I mean, it's starting to pick up. We're starting to learn some things, but there again, you know, when I wrote this plan. And it is a plan. It's not just thrown together. It's not just a mismatch, you know, Wild West shoot 'em up thing. We actually have a goal. We actually have a mission in this, and we'll get into that later. But you know, when I wrote this, it was for certain purposes, and those purposes were to even the playing field, and give everybody a chance. And right now, the medical field, what they've got going on is all right, but I think it can be better. They're doing good. I mean, they're starting to get their dispensaries out. They're starting to be known, but I think it can be upgraded in a lot of ways.
Chad, what's the out-of-state money look like right now? I'm looking at an article from Marijuana Business Daily, and they talk about your guys' the not so great year.
Yeah,
and that's just being, I mean, what do they say, like 34 million? I mean, it's still not small change no matter what.
Yeah.
But what are your dispensaries like? Like some people have regulations against flower smoking, edibles, you know, just the weird stuff. What is your guys' situation like?
Well, Ohio right now, you're only allowed, I believe, edibles and the vape pens with the card if you have the card. Flower. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's what we had. We had Glenn Keeling. And we had him on about a month or two ago, and he mentioned that that's all you were allowed to have. It's still a no flower state in Ohio.
Yeah, it's. I mean, some people are getting away with it. Some of these dispensaries are selling flower, even though it's a no flower state.
How did they get the supply? That's crazy. Like
they're growing it. The growers, most of these dispensaries have their own grow sites too, and that's, you know, look. When people talk about monopolies, this is the thing that makes me think of a monopoly. These people that have these dispensaries and these grow sites right now, you know, they're not letting us in. There's no way I can afford $180,000. You know, I'm barely lucky to afford the car payment and the insurance for it. You know, I don't work. Yeah. I'm disabled. You know, judge told me straight to my face that I'm too smart to be on disability, so I better get thinking on something, and here we are.
With the like I said, with the out-of-state money, like I came across this article too, where they talk about another Harvest, and it's an Arizona company. So are you guys trying to stop the out-of-state money from coming in? Because I know you're saying you want to give everybody an equal chance. So that's
Actually,
really where it comes down to, right?
actually, what I want to do is I want to give Ohioans the first shot. I want to keep everything in state as much as possible. I don't want. We'll have a seed to sales tracking system, and as much as I hate it, people coming from out of state for our marijuana will only be able to buy a quarter ounce. There'll be no online sales or anything like that through our company. Everything that we grow in Ohio, we will keep in Ohio. We're not interested in out of state sales. We're trying to end opioids. We're trying to end the black market on this stuff. And to do that, we gotta stop. We have to have a seed to sale tracking system, and we have to have no internet sales whatsoever. And that's one of the things that people don't understand. Out west or where the opioids aren't really rampant. I live in Southern Ohio. We're the second in the nation for opioid overdose deaths.
Wow.
It's just it will stun you to sit down and look at the statistics in Ohio. Every town you go through, there's a little white sign. It tells you how many people have overdosed, how many people have died from them overdoses, how many people are in recovery from that. It's just sickening.
Well, that's the thing, that in Illinois, a lot of the dispensaries and the grows, they have community redevelopment programs, and so they fund like substance abuse rehabilitation. But then it sounds like it's such a restrictive medical licensing for the patients, even in Ohio, that you can't get flower. How hard and how is pain on the list of approved treatment options?
Certain pains. Now, see, I can get it. I've got a battery on my back. I broke my back and my neck in 2008, and I got a battery in my back that allows me to walk.
Wow.
It helps with the pain.
Yeah.
Before I had it, I couldn't take 15 steps, and I had to sit down.
Yeah, I met somebody who has something similar, and he was on a lot of the opioids, and then cannabis gave him a lot of relief.
When I had my back surgery, man, I come out of that surgery, I woke up, I didn't take one opioid, not one pain pill, nothing. The doctors were going to commit me, thought I was crazy. I was like, you know what? Just let me go home, man. I'll smoke a joint and be fine. Just let me go home,
Yeah.
And finally, 3 days later, after, they did their testing and stuff, made sure I was okay, they let me go home. But I, never had one opioid.
To have an access to safe, pure, consistent supply of cannabis, and that's something else we really stress in Illinois' law. So it's about providing that safe, pure supply to the city, and not just the city, the people, of course. Yeah. And then I think you guys are going to be able to use us in Seattle and all the other states, because you see a definite correlation and a decline in the opioid overdose deaths when there's either legalization or it's easier to get medical cannabis, so like you can get it for pain.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's so much easier just to smoke a joint. Why they think they have to turn it into this oil stuff that's going to magically make it healthier.
Exactly. And right now, our attorney in Ohio, if you're on probation, even if you have the medical card, probation officers are violating people that are smoking. They're actually forcing them back on opioids. We're going to start a lawsuit to sue courthouses, judges that support it, and any probation office that supports violating them. It's actually a constitutional amendment in Ohio now. That's the law. These people took an oath to uphold the law, so it's their responsibility.
Was the medical cannabis provisions in Ohio, are those from an amendment?
They're from actually, it's an old plan. Parts of it, the $180,000, that was partly my plan. They dissected one of my old plans. I screwed up when I was writing the first one, and I sent it to every single representative and every single person that I could think of that might help me. And they kind of picked it apart and made their own thing out of it. and this is what we got. It's
You
just
can't really say it's a mess up, though. I mean, you are so much further ahead, though. I mean, compared to just being black market or not having any medical, or the fact that you guys have this opportunity is pretty huge. And are you guys, as you're gathering these signatures, because you have a 1,400 mark you have to hit at the end of this month, right?
Yes.
What is your literature like? Are you showing that, hey, these states that legalize it, the opioid crisis has gone down? There's a new article about teens that are not using marijuana in legal states. I mean,
all that stuff's on our website. Our web guy, he researches it. He does all the background on it and puts up stuff that is correlated with what we're doing, like with the opioids. We've also got a program for veterans. We're going to try and help some veterans where I live. Again, opioid crisis has struck our veterans down there, a bunch of homeless veterans, and part of our program will be to help them through our edibles and our vapes. The product will be called Fallen.
How do they currently sell those? Is it just a lot of vape pens? If I'm a patient in Ohio,
you go to the dispensary and buy them in the dispensary, and they'll break your arm when you go to pick them up. Oh man, they're like
a half a gram.
50. They're like $50 for.
That's it. That's what it goes for in Illinois. You go, you get the vape pen, half a gram, 500 milliliters of whatever.
Like
it's about $50 if you get a sale, and it's $60 very often or more. That's medical price, dude. That's not our use price.
Yeah, they'd shit to know. Oh, excuse me. They'd crap to know that I pay $25 for mine.
Well, you just got to be careful. That's the thing about the black market. The legacy market, the unregulated market, the tax-free market. That's the ones where Miggy calls it the traditional market. There was no traditional vape pens back when it was the traditional market. It was joints, bonds.
Yeah.
Like if we were in Europe, it was hash. That was the only concentrate culture that I knew of, was just Europe and hash, because they were smuggling cannabis. That's it. So all this new stuff with the vape pens, I don't know about
it's new to you because you live in Illinois. I've been seeing
it. And it is. Yeah. Look, I worked in Chicago for 2 years, man.
Yeah.
And Chicago was way far behind on everything that Ohio was doing. We were doing stuff. Yeah, we were doing stuff. Well, now that I got everybody on here and I can tell everybody this, the reason I started this was to help veterans. And I started it in Ohio, just thinking Ohio's gonna, well, we just got our amendment yesterday morning from the attorneys in West Virginia. We are now in West Virginia with legislation that'll be on the legislators' desks. We're going through legislation in West Virginia. We're going amendment here. It'll be on their desks tomorrow morning.
No, that's cool. We actually had a question about West Virginia.
Yeah, we are on
West Virginia medical card, and that's interesting. We did a show, and then West Virginia's license window just closed about a week and a half ago. Yeah, and I got a couple of calls, but I didn't help with any because it was similar. They're medical, so their medical's not out yet. Their medical law's been passed, and now so they just did this round of applications, but it looks very similar to Ohio's. No flower.
Copied it.
No, they copied it? Okay.
They copied it. They didn't. Listen, when they first started this, they only have 4 paragraphs. They only have 4 paragraphs when they passed it. Yeah, when they passed their legislation. I've got 31 attorneys down in West Virginia right now getting ready to go lobby some congressmen for me.
Yeah. So are you guys doing my free West Virginia website too?
It'll be my free WV, yes, sir. We'll have it up and running. We just got this set up Saturday, so I'm going down there tomorrow and Tuesday to set up an office and get everything set up down there. We'll probably be flying our computer guy back in from Texas again too.
So who's backing you? I'm sorry. I was saying, What kind of backing do you have there to be flying multi-state? And because honestly, this is the hardest part about politics and activism is none of this shit's free.
Yeah,
Like,
none of it is, and thank God that I got people that are blessing me with some money, and some of it these people were paying for out of their own pockets. Like this guy, our computer guy, he pays for everything out of his own pocket. As long as we get him a hotel when he gets here, he pays for his airplane or his gas or whatever however he gets here, he pays for that out of his own pocket. So, that's pretty righteous of him to do.
Well, let's talk about your ground game then.
Okay.
What's the most effective way to get all these, because they're petitions.
Yes,
they
sir.
have to be in paper.
Yes, sir. We have they're a pamphlet. They're 3 pages long, 49 signatures. On the front of it, it tells who we are and what we're doing. And it gives the first page of our amendment, which tells right in there that it's going to grant us the power to make and regulate marijuana in the state of Ohio. Mm-hmm. Which, there again, you go back to the thing with everybody thinking that monopolies are owned and run by one company. Well, we're just going to be landlords. We'll own everything, but every 5 years we'll hold a lottery, and however many dispensaries we have, however many grow sites we have, that's how many winners there'll be. And these winners will come in, they'll run these grow sites for 5 years. They'll take all the profits. They'll pay all the bills for them. But they'll take all the profits. They'll receive an education, college education, better than any college could ever give them. 5 years on a business scale, on a business, running a business on this scale, better than any college will give you in 5 years. And then you'll have a pocket full of money and entrepreneurship skills. So when you are done after 5 years, you can continue on your journey. You can go out and open up, a hemp shop selling hemp clothes, or you can open up.
You can't sell the THC cannabis anymore.
Yeah, well, it'll be these winners will be selling the THC. They'll have the winners of the lottery will sell the THC. They'll have all the dispensaries. They'll run all that. My focus is hemp. That's why I said we'll give cannabis to the state. We'll own the grow sites. We'll own the dispensaries. That way, there doesn't have to be a stop in the production. Everything can run turnkey business. Every 5 years, we hold a lottery, and for every dispensary and every grow site we have, them people will win. They'll come in. They'll turnkey the business. We'll give them a 2-week crash course. Well, not crash course, but it'll be a 2-week intense course actually on how we run the business and how their money will be spent, where they got to spend it. They'll have responsibilities. They'll have to pay. They'll have to pay for the buildings and the lights and all that stuff. They'll pay the bills, but they get the profits.
Will it be like a utility then? Is it going to be owned by, when you say we, owning the
My Free Ohio, the company My Free Ohio non-for-profit will own all the buildings. We'll build them, we'll secure them. That takes the pressure off of the owners, the lottery winners. They don't have to, or even these dispensary people wanting to buy these dispensaries. Right now they're having a hard time finding places to put them. Nobody wants to sell them property. We'll have all that, we'll secure everything, and we'll turn the cannabis part of it over to the people of Ohio. That's my gift for letting me come in and run the hemp program the way that it needs to be run and give our farmers a fair shake in this deal, because right now our hemp plans got them all tangled up. We're going to give them hemp, grow it for us. Please grow it for us. Grow it by the ton, please, because my hemp is where we're going to make our money. I want textile mills. I want foundries. I want factories. That's where I want to go with hemp in Ohio. I want Ohio to be that state that says, hey guys, this is where y'all dropped off. Cannabis was good. but look at what I'm doing now.
Well, the textile is going to be huge for hemp. That's one of the reasons why it's so expensive. It's just because not enough people are growing it.
Exactly.
That's not it. That's not it. The problem is, who's going to pay the $50 to $100 million to make the hemp processing facility?
Well, that's where we get investors and all that. And, I figure after we're in business for a couple months,
no investors want to go near a lottery system, because it's like, wait,
on the hemp, that won't be through a lottery system. The only thing that'll be through a lottery system is the grow facilities and the dispensaries, and we'll own them. Our investors will deal with us. The people that rent the building, that win the lottery, they'll pay us. We'll pay we'll pay the investors. We'll be the ones with our names. We'll be the ones taking the responsibility for it. Because eventually, at the end of the day, as Tim says, it'll be our people in there running it, actually running everything. Mm-hmm. The lottery winners will come in to oversee and learn business techniques. Or if they want to sit on a couch eating Cheetos in their underwear, man, I really don't care. It's their life. They can do whatever they want. Our guys are going to run it. We've got growers. We've got botanists. We've got everything to run everything that we need. We were going to put in labs. We were going to run clinicals, and all that with all different types of cannabis and hemp. We want to see where we stand. No other states are doing what we're doing.
So the lottery is like a internship?
No, it'll be like a college internship, more or less. You'll come in, you'll get a 2-week course on how we run My Free Ohio, how the business runs, because we'll have the game set down on how much is going to be produced and how much you need to, and we'll let all these guys know. We'll give them, a pamphlet and everything, or a book on how to run and what we expect of them, the paperwork they have to fill out, and who all is going to be in their shop working for them. And then we'll have guys in there, helping them also. We're not going to just leave them in there to hang out to dry. We'll have our guys in there, our office manager that stays in there, even through all the lotteries, running it, because we don't want any lags in production. We want everybody to keep the production wheel going. And when you start these grow sites right now, the people that are making money, and I'm sorry to say it, man, they all are rich. They all have super money. Me, I come from, humble backgrounds. I learned that every penny you get is a penny earned, and every penny you put in that bank is a penny saved. And there's a lot of other Ohioans like that.
Yeah, so essentially, you're for My Free Ohio, or you're setting up like the platform for a company to be in Ohio for Ohioans, but you're also going to have competition, right? Because there's not going to be
I guess there's a couple other plans, but like I said, we have that little inside track, so we know what's going to go through and what's not. So I'm not wasting my time on writing something that I know is not going to go. I'm going to write something that can go, and after our 5-year wait period, where we actually gain control from Congress and all them, where they can no longer write laws on it, that's when we can allow people to do other things, like grow for us, home grow for us.
So the legislation involved, then you have a 5-year grace period for things to be amended.
Yeah. After we get this passed, we can't make, and there can be no changes to the amendment for 5 years. So after that 5 years, then we can write changes in. We can write our own changes in. We don't have to get signatures. We don't have to give votes. We don't have to do any of that anymore, because we control that part of it. That's what I wrote into the legislation. look, hey, these guys are not messing with some dummy from Ohio, man, in the Hicks. I wear this beard and I look like this because I reenact in Civil War reenactments every other weekend in the summertime, and it's coming up, so I got to look the part, you know. But I've got a 148 IQ. I'm not a dummy, and there's more than one way to skin a possum.
Well, you guys are in a great position for what I've seen in legal states. Like here in Washington, we had a bunch of, it's the culture, right? Where, it's only a couple people, maybe 20, 30 people willing to stand up and say, hey, I believe in legalizing it in this state. And here in Washington, it's kind of a safe bet, right? I mean, we're all hugging everything. So
I got friends in Washington.
Yeah, it's safer than most states, but Ohio, I mean, a flyover state, you got to, you're still in scary ground, man.
I ain't scared. I ain't scared. I got the horns down. Hey, look, I told my attorneys I can put the horns up and tiptoe through this China shop, or I can put the horns down and we can wreck the whole thing. I don't care. It's up to you guys how we do this. And so far, I haven't had to put the horns down. We've gotten excellent reception in the city that we live in, or where our company's in. Even though we just come in and opened up shop, we didn't knock on the door, we didn't ask, we didn't say nothing. We just rented a building, and boom, here we are. But they accepted us. They took us in, and now they come to our parties and support us.
Has Ohio seen like moratoriums and whatnot in different counties?
What's that?
When you guys had medical, was there like a panic attack of like different counties, like, oh shit, not my backyard? I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, there was a lot of them that were pretty resistive to it.
Yeah, and again, with my amendment, we leave it up to the different districts to vote on if they want our shops in their district or not. That I really don't want to change. I don't want to force this on anybody. Everybody keeps asking me. We got a Loan Max sign in front of our building, and everybody keeps asking me when we're going to put our sign up. I'm not, man. I'm not going to put that sign up out front because there's kids that drive across my front. That's a main highway in Massillon. There's a high school right up the road from us. I don't want kids coming by and seeing a pot leaf in my bed. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I don't want to influence anybody in the wrong way.
Well, you know what Illinois did. It's illegal to have a pot leaf in your regalia. So in your any like trademark, trade dress, logos, no pot leaves.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that. When did they do that?
That's in the CRTA. So it's in the legislation that they passed last spring, and so it's expressly in there under the regulations regarding advertising. So you can put restrictions in for advertising.
Yeah, well, that'd shoot me right in the toe about right now, I think, man, because everybody knows our logo now,
you guys are still in a delicate spot as far as, I mean, I know you're not scared, but like that's what killed in Montana. They were rampant for a while. I used to travel as a technician. I drive on the 90. I would see billboards saying, for delivery. I'd get excited myself thinking, oh, this is the new promised land. But then a year after that, really, the conservative side of people scared.
That's the whole thing. I've got something in here for a little bit of everybody, man. I got the conservative side. We're privatizing it. We're taking it away from the government. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that'll satisfy the conservatives. For the Democrats and the liberals, we're giving away free medical and we're helping the veterans. So I mean, I've tried to write this. Look, for me, these eyes are blind now, man. I can't see politics. I mean, I've got to take this off, and we're doing this so that, I'm sick of looking at Facebook and seeing, I hate this guy because of this. I hate this guy because of that. I'm done. Mm-hmm. It's got to change. It's got to stop. It has to, man. And right here at My Free Ohio, we're going to put a stop to it. I mean, look, there is no lines here. We don't care if you're Republican, if you're Democrat, if you're white, black, green, yellow. I don't care. If you want a job, you come to work for us. Look, we're trying to kill crime in Ohio. We want convicted felons right now. it's so hard for them to get a fair shake at anything. Jobs turning them away just because of their past, Give me 90 days. As long as you're not on the governor's non-pardonable list, give me 90 days after your release date, and you can prove that you have all your stuff behind you and cleaned up and you're good to go. You can go to work for us in one of our dispensaries or one of our growth facilities, one of our hemp factories. You can go to work for us. Give me 10 years clean, and I'll let you enter the lottery, man, and you can own one of these facilities for 5 years, and that's something right now that nobody else is doing. And 35% of fallen our vape and edibles is going to house, job training, PTSD counseling, for veterans, for only veterans, and that's out of profits. That's not donations. That's coming out of our pocket. That's not wounded warriors saying, hey, give me some money so I can keep 75% of it and give these guys 30% of it, $50 billion, and they're giving people $20 million or $20,000 for a house that I wouldn't live in. No, we're gonna do it right.
So how's so how far do you have to get with the collecting of the signatures? You said 1,400 by
the 27th. By the 27th, we got to turn them in by the 27th. But I need like 2 days. I'm going to take 2 or 3 days prior to that. I think we should have them. We got a poker run coming up. Some biker friends of ours are going to help us out. Man, love the biker community. Thanks, guys. They're going to help us out getting signatures and stuff. We're going to do a poker run.
Are you guys canvassing the state as well as far as
we've right now, listen, in Ohio, if you mention cannabis or marijuana, you're getting shut down faster than anything on, or I mean, it's
like John Boehner, Acreage Holdings main dude, right out of Ohio, and you're just telling me that like it sucks. And like this guys are like the last person that was on was having a very difficult time with law enforcement despite being a medical patient. And so
our law enforcement slowly come around. That's why I said we're going to start this lawsuit on the opioids for the probation officers and the judges that are supporting these violations. That's unconstitutional for one, and for two, they're practicing medicine without a license in the state of Ohio. That's illegal. They're telling these people that they can't take a medicine that an actual doctor told them that they have to take. So they're practicing medicine in the state without a license, and you can't do that. I don't care.
Issue here in the recreational state, man. Like I've been on probation, or people I know been on probation, and they say you can't smoke cannabis. It's like, for one, it's recreational legal out here, but two, it's also medical. So how are you telling me? But that's a hard fight in every state to fight for, just not only for people to see it as medicine, but as
get my free Ohio, my free Ohio on your side, buddy. I got a pit bull for an attorney, man. I'm telling you right now, he'll grab him by the ankles and will not let go. He's good. I mean, he's good. Well, I'll tell you what, you've got my contact information, don't you? Mm-hmm. Get a hold of me after all this, bub, and we'll talk and we'll set something up. I'm serious, man. I'm gonna crush opioids. If I've got to do it one town at a time, one person at a time, I'm getting it done. I've lost 69 friends in 5 years to it, man.
Oh, wow.
I can't do it no more, bub. I can't do it anymore. I haven't been to the last 15 funerals, man. I'm sick and tired of watching my friends get put in the ground.
Why do you think that why is the outbreak so bad in
no jobs, rural hillbilly Appalachia, Ohio and West Virginia? That's why I started this, because that's the hub. I mean, that's the cesspool where it just comes in down there. I don't know, we're the furthest thing from Detroit or from any body of main water that can get drugs to us, but yet runs rampant down there. They're making stuff down there. They're making stuff up. They're eating Tide Pods, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on. Who does that?
Bored people.
They got this stuff they're making down there. Listen, we've got like 35 people that have been affected by this drug called Gator. I have no clue, but it makes their skin all scaly. Like they're,
Oh wow.
It's nasty, and they take it. It's like battery acid.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to stop. It just has to.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is too drug ignorance, right? Like people like, oh, the government says that pot's bad for you. You smoke a joint, and you're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? And then next thing you know, battery acid must be good.
Tide pods are even better. You know, wash them down with some water.
Yeah, everybody was lying about the Tide Pods.
I
But that's
don't know.
too bad that the opioid crisis is striking the places that can least afford to fight them.
And it is, and that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons, you know. When I broke my neck and my back in 2008, man, they had me strung out. I was on perk 30s. I was on, you know, I was strung out bad. And in 2010, I had a little bump on the head, and I started getting away from using them. And in 2012, I opened up a medical transportation company, and I hauled people back and forth for the federal government, Medicaid, Medicare, people that couldn't afford their own vehicles. And I met a lot of interesting people, and a lot of people, you know, I could talk to. A lot of people, you know, would clam up, but the ones that I did that were addicts, recovering addicts and stuff, they would tell me their stories, you know, of how they got on, how they got hooked, why they got hooked. You know, and most of it was because they didn't have a job, and they would go hang out at the dope man's house all day because, well, he would smoke pot with them all day for free. And then other things became involved, and now other things are involved. And, you know, it just becomes, it becomes a no way out, and you're done. Once you're hooked, you're done. You're there for life, you know, until somebody rescues you.
But then, like, it's got to be coming from somewhere. I mean, like, people make meth and Gator in their basements or wherever the heck they make those. But I don't think you can make your own opioids.
No, they're still. I mean, they're still getting them. Doctors down south are writing prescriptions for them for people that don't even need
Florida used to be the mecca of that. They would just farm out pills for no real good reason.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, they're busting these doctors down there. They just sent two of them in Parkersburg, West Virginia. They just sent two of them, I think last year or sometime around November or so. Sent them to prison, man. One got 13 years and one got 26 years or something like that. And they just did the first drug dealer case. They just convicted the first drug dealer in the state of West Virginia for selling a hot dose of heroin to an overdose victim. Tracked the heroin right back to him. Tracked it all.
See, it's terrible because, like, cannabis, when it's grown pure and it's grown really good, it's wholesome. And so, like, you could be giving people something that is legit good for them and teaching them how to take care of themselves, as opposed to giving them complete shit.
And that's part of our process.
Yeah.
That's all part of our game plan. You know, most of these people that want this legalized, they don't have a plan. You know, they have no clue of they just know hurry, you know, and let's make more money. And that, what's that, Bobby?
I was gonna say, I think you made a great point as far as because Ohio area, the Appalachia, same with like the South, right? Mississippi, like both areas, whether it's black or white, extremely poor, extremely affected by different crises like opioids. But legalization can just help them so much with off the opioids, but also just self wellness.
And we're also where I live 20 minutes from the Ohio River. There are 45 to 50 plants that are in my area that produce chemicals that can kill somebody. Right now, DuPont has a C8. They're fighting a C8 lawsuit. The federal government's in there suing them because it's all through the Ohio River. It's in people's drinking water. You know, hemp will clean that up. Hemp will clean it up for them, man. If they just let me in there, if they just give me that one in, man.
Hemp farming, they have to allow. Well,
they've got this lawyer in West Virginia, and him and his son wrote a 3.5 paragraph hemp law, man. We're gonna crush that too. look, I'm done with stupid, man. Something has to be done, and it has to be done right so that people can understand, like you guys said, there is more to this, and there is a better way to do things than what's going on in every state that you see right now. Look at the dank guys. They're on the run because their tanks had this, and the federal government said blah, blah, blah. All these people that are doing this stuff right now, they're doing it because, it's the wild, wild west. There is no set regulations. There is no, real set plan to anything out there. It's just make as much money as you can, fast as you can. And, if you want to get out, sell your stuff, whatever. But, it's all about the money.
Oh yeah.
For me, it's a little bit about the money, but it's more about that. I'm sick and tired of seeing the deaths in opioids. I'm sick and tired of seeing veterans. Veterans have saved my butt several times from attacks and from, I'm just done. I'm watching them sleep in a tent, eating out of a tin can. I mean, who every day, not just on a camping trip, guys. I mean, these guys ain't doing this because that's what they want to do. They don't have any jobs.
And then I hate that you go to the VA website and it'll mention that for PTSD, cannabis kind of helps.
It does.
But then that's it. They're just like, but sorry, guys.
But they're dead against it.
Laws.
Dead against it. Won't let it. And if you're in one of the VA care hospitals, there is no chance, snowball's chance that you're getting it. Not happening. I've got guys right now that are fighting it. Not in Ohio.
Yep. I mean, we got an article from Marijuana Moment about how the VA was researching medical marijuana and then it was immediately deleted. What date is that from, Miggy?
That is from 3 days ago.
3 days ago. So there's still
not 1980. 3 days ago.
I like you, man. You're
you guys, people, you're trying to change opinions from like the 30s. This is freaking ridiculous. We're in 2020. I can order anything I want in Amazon, have it delivered the same day. I can go out and get the weed at the store down the street for me. I mean, what the fuck? Why is Ohio in 1930? Why is
we're trying, man. I'm telling you, we're trying. But it is a very slow process because there are a lot of older folks in Ohio. We have pretty populous older generations, and it's slowly changing, and we're slowly getting more and more.
Like that's hard though. You have to like re-educate these people about these lies because people are actually dying.
And we are.
And you're going to just keep believing this lie. And then in 5 years, suddenly you're going to be like, oh my God, I was wrong. No shit. We were telling you were wrong, but you didn't think it was true.
Exactly. And that's part of our program. We've got to wait till we get legalized before we can do a lot of things because of the way that the laws are now. So we can fight the opioids. We can assist veterans and stuff like that. But there's just certain things that I want to do. I want to implement, but being in the position that I'm in, I can't right now. My hands are kind of sort of tied until after everything gets passed. But once everything gets passed and we can make our own laws after that 5-year period, we're gonna initiate the home grow because we're gonna need people growing certain strands for us. We're gonna need people growing different things for us, and we're gonna initiate it. But right now, as long as if I turn that in on the ballot, the attorney or the Secretary of State's probably going to deny it. That was, what the census that we got from the attorney. They don't want people homegrown. They're losing money and they can't regulate it. It's not a seed to sale tracking.
Incremental too.
Yeah, but then again, it's like we really aren't going to have to go to task over all these home brewers out there because it needs to get watered every bleeping day. And then if the temperature doesn't go right, it will do something wrong. And if you don't leave it in a very, very pure environment, it might get, powdery mildew. A whole list of crap can go wrong. And then you harvest it. Now it can still taste like complete shit if you don't actually cure it and preserve it right. And then we had the Bovida guys on. You have to watch its RH after you get it into that cure. It's not something that people are going to suddenly be flooding. It's just more lies and bullshit and people that don't understand the plant that they, for some reason, get to set all the laws on. And then, like, what about the home grow? Oh my gosh, that one plant that I'm nursing to health is still going to be worse. Like it's going to be like, even after that guy gets done brewing that beer that for some reason he thought was a good idea to put like some jalapenos in. And whatever, man. He's like, yeah, I made this in my basement. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. And like, I know my weed is going to be like that. It's going to be terrible. I'm going to smoke my own weed. I'll have a little bit of proud ownership. I didn't do the genetics. I didn't make it. I didn't do any of that shit, but I'm just still take some pride in it. And see, I'm going to go down the road and I'm going to buy some actual cannabis that a professional grew, and I'll be like, that's just better. It's just better,
And we're going to sell our product at $100 an ounce, man. I mean, you can't grow it for that at home.
No,
I mean, you really can't. We're seriously, man. We're going to stomp out the opioids, and the only way to do that is to put out a better product, cheaper, and get these little dope houses closed down. That's the only way we're going to be able to do it. And if people want the opioids, if people are really sick and tired of the opioid problem, like they say they are on the news all the time, every time, they quit reporting about deaths, man. They quit reporting overdoses. They just quit reporting because it's just sickening. It's there every single day. This guy, 5 or 6 in this town, 5 or 6.
No, it was 70,000 in 2017. Because like in the applications that I'm doing, some of the money that we give back to the community, you try to earmark to various social causes, one of which are these drug rehab community outreach centers that help people. Because addiction is not something that we should be treating in this country with an arrest and a criminal record. It's something we should be treating this country like it's a medical problem.
It is a medical problem. It is exactly a medical
problem.
Then
why are we treating it like it's a criminal problem? That's a
because we have politicians making laws, and politicians know
that I am hard on
about what we do.
I'm hard on crime BS. What has really hurt this country, and I think it's partly to blame for our opioid crisis, because they believed that hard on crime was locking up people that were standing in front of where Miggy is reporting from. And it is bad. And it is not just bad. It literally hurts people. And so it got up to 70,000 in 2017. It's come down a little bit, but 70,000 people, that rivals alcohol.
That's a generation. That's a generation of people, man.
That's a big city just disappearing.
That's the Vietnam War.
That's the Vietnam War every year from these pills, right?
That's the Vietnam War, man.
Where can people find you guys for Signature Gathering? Do you guys have
we are located in Massillon, Ohio, 1220 Lincoln Way East, Massillon, Ohio, 44646.
MyFreeOhio.com.
All that's on the website.
MyFreeOhio.com. You can find us on.
Now, are there any rules for signing the petition? I can't sign it. I'm in Illinois. He's in Washington.
Oh, you're
have
fine,
to be an Ohio resident. Have to have voted in 2018.
Those are the only rules. And if you have voted in 2018 and would like to support a good cause, somebody that's going to actually help Ohioans, help you guys do what we got goals, and we're going to achieve them. We just need to get a little bit of help, couple more signatures on here, and watch me go. Turn me loose and wind me up. Turn me loose and watch me go, because there's just too much that this can do for not only Ohio, not only West Virginia, but every other state out there. Because
it's not like other states haven't seen the benefits. Ravenous Wolf drops us some knowledge that opioid deaths dropped about 15% in the first 6 months, and that is common. You see, after a substantive medical or adult use cannabis bill, and cannabis is made more widely available to humans that live in a state, opioid deaths tend to go down by double digits. It's not like
by double digits,
but it's over 10.
And you know what?
Yeah.
That's my argument, that if this passes in Ohio and it passes in West Virginia, or even if it just passes in one of the states, that's what I'm taking to Washington. That's the argument right there. You politicians aren't drug dealers. You guys don't know. You know what an eighth is in Ohio. what is it, 2.4 grams or 2.5 grams? That's what
3.5 grams.
No, sir, not in Ohio. It's
What?
2.
That's not an eighth.
If you go to a dispensary
The math
to
doesn't
buy
work
a
then.
quote unquote eighth, it's like 2.5 grams and it's like $70.
Yeah, it's 2.5 grams. 2.5 grams.
Where am I paying $70 for 2.5 grams of what type of weed?
In Ohio, junk.
Wait.
They have different tiers. There's tier 1,
Is it
tier
the
2, and tier
market?
3.
You have to go to the dispensary to get
Dispensary.
All right.
Dispensary. Market, we're already crushing in prices.
It's not a good math, though. That's not an eighth.
It isn't an eighth, sir. Yeah, I know, man. Look, that's Ohio politicians not knowing their butt from a hole in the ground, man. That's why I want to get it away from them. I want to take the power away from them so that they can't do this anymore. You know, we can get it right. We can set it right. You know, look, I've been growing since I was 12. You know, I've been smoking since I was 12. There isn't too much about cannabis that I don't know, and hemp. I mean, and in the last 4 or 5 years, I've really been, you know, picking my brain and paying attention to things that are going on. I wrote the plan so that it wouldn't mirror any plan out there. It's not a monopoly because no matter what, everybody in the state of Ohio has a chance to benefit from it. We don't care about the cannabis profits. The state of Ohio can have all that, you know. Mm-hmm. I want the hemp, you know. So when I say we're going to own everything, it just means that we are going to be landlords for people to come in and run them businesses in a turnkey style. You ever seen those guys that sell the houses? And they take you to them seminars and they teach you how to flip houses real quick. They're on Home Garden TV all the time.
Oh gosh, yeah. I haven't had cable in 10 years.
Okay, well, I went to one of these. I went to one of these seminars, and they were talking about turnkey houses. They would take you in, and they'll fix these houses up, and they'll give them to you turnkey, and you can sell them. And I got to thinking about that. You know, why not do a turnkey business? Why not make turnkey businesses available? And in the process, you know, give somebody an education and a pocket full of money while you're doing it. You know,
well, we can't make with a pocket full of monies here, but, you know, thanks for spending an hour and talking with us. And now let's give away a shirt. This is
there you go.
Navy blue medium Cannabis Legalization news shirt, straight from Miggy's 420 stash. How do we want to give this away, Miggy?
You know, just a comment, man. The first one that says, I want a shirt in the medium. Let's go for that guy. Girl, person.
Shirt in the medium. But then they're going to have to, they're going to email us at, well, you can go to my website, Tom's, you can just Google me, Cannabis Lawyer, and then the cannabisindustrylawyer.com is my website. So if you go there, and then don't call because that'll cost me money.
We got Gary.
Tom at Collateral Base, and then be like, hey, here's your, all right, Gary, hey. Email Tom at collateralbase.com your info about where I'm supposed to mail this. I'm going to I'm going to get you a little bonus.
You got a book?
Yeah. One of the things that I did was I ordered swag. Some of the swags is doob tubes. And so you can't be a cannabis lawyer without doob tubes. And I don't like swag. Like, I think it's stupid. But when it's useful like this, people are probably going to remember it. So, like, if you're going to get swag, I liked it to be a doob tube swag or a lighter. Lighters are expensive.
Well, this is the lighter sleeve. I wish I could show you because it's green, blending with the green screen. Wait, let me see. No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't matter where you put it.
Yeah, this is one of those poker ones. I had this sitting in my box of swag at one time, and then I decided, oh shit, it has a poker on it, and this is the most useful thing I've ever fucking had, like for free.
Oh yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming around. And then
thanks for having us, guys.
Leave that little thing at the bottom where you can visit them at myfreeohio.com. If you live in Ohio and you voted in last election, don't forget to sign this the petition to get cannabis legalization on the ballot this fall. There. See you on Wednesday, because at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Do you know what it is, Miggy?
We'll be here.